So 8.5 is going to take us 2 days. So today is day 4. Tomorrow we'll finish up this section. We'll do day 5. And then when I see you again after that, we will stop, review the first 5 days, and then we'll follow it up with a quiz. Any questions on what we've been talking about, where we're going with this? We good schedule-wise? Make sense? All right. Here is the form we will be working with for the next couple of days. This is called standard form. So in standard form, we have ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are integers. So it's just another way to write a linear equation. Instead of y equals mx plus b, we want the x term in the front, followed by the y term, equals the constant. Okay? Here's something that's pretty important, though. These have to be integers. Remember, integers do not include decimals or fractions. So if we have a decimal or a fraction in here, we have to manipulate the equation a little bit to make them integers. And then the lead coefficient with our a always needs to be a positive number. Okay, so you don't want to start with a negative. No decimals, no fractions. X term first, then the y term, then the constant. Questions so far? All right, here's example 1. Okay, so what's not okay right now? If we want the x term, then the y term, then the equal sign, then the constant, what's wrong? Yes?
The 1/2 x.
Yeah, we need to get that x term in the front. That's going to be our first move. So I'm going to add 1/2 x to both sides. So now I have 1/2 x plus y equals, those are gone, 5. All right, what's the other problem? The what? What can I not have? Fractions. Good. So the trick is the same way we got rid of fractions when we were solving equations with one variable. You just multiply both sides but by whatever would get rid of the fraction, okay?
2.
So if I multiply by 2, the fraction's going to go away, but whatever you do to the left side of an equation, you have to do to the right side as well. So that would give us 2 over 2x, which is just 1x, plus, you got to multiply that whole left side, so 2y equals 10. Now we're in standard form. You have your x term, you have your y term, your equal sign, constant, no fractions, no decimals, no negative in the front. Boom. Questions? All right, here's part B. Now what? Yep, I'm going to subtract 2/3 x from both sides. I want that x term to be up front. So negative 2 over 3x plus y equals negative 1. All right. I can think of a couple problems. Yes?
The x is a fraction and it's negative.
The x is a fraction and it's negative. Can we solve both of those problems with one move? Mm-hmm. What can I do? Multiply by 3 will get rid of the fraction. Multiply by negative 3 will change the sign. Got to do that to both sides. All right, so everything up front gets multiplied by that -3. What will I end up with for my x coefficient?
2x.
Yep, the 3's are going to go away, the negatives are going to go away. If you actually do the multiplying, you'll have +6 over 3, which is 2x. And then what's -3 times +y? -3y, good. And on the right side, +3, good. Questions? Yeah, no. All right. Okay, example 2, the directions say to write an equation in standard form and slope-intercept form. So we have to do both forms, y = mx plus b and ax plus by = c. Which one is easier? Which one should I start with? Should I write it in this form or this form? Standard form or slope-intercept form? Which one will be easier to start with? Slope-intercept form, because this is my m, it's the slope. Do you see how this point is 0, 4? So that's my b. So I can write it in slope-intercept form right now. It's y = 3x plus 4. Everyone see where that came from? Okay. So that's one of my answers. That's slope-intercept form. How would I change that to make standard form work as well? Yep, we got to move the 3x. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. Write it up front. I want the x, then the y, then the equal sign, then the constant. Am I done? Nope. What's the problem? You can't have the negative up front. So what should I do? Multiply everything by a -1. Good. So that would give me 3x minus y equals -4. So again, this is slope-intercept form, y = mx plus b. This is standard form, ax plus by = c. We're just going back and forth. Questions? All right, so part A was actually a little simpler than these usually are. The reason is that the point they gave me in part A was the B value. Is this the B value? No. What are these? This is slope? Those are just an x and a y value. Okay? So for part A, we kind of had a shortcut because they gave us the B. Right now, they're not giving us the B. But they're giving us a hint to find the B. So I have M, and I have an X, and I have a Y. Okay? Do you see the steps above this section in your notes? Where it says to plug in the slope and the XY value into y-intercept form? Okay. That's what we're going to do. And again, we didn't have to do that in Part A because they gave us the M and they gave us the B. When they give you the M and they give you the B, you're golden, okay? We're not in such hot shape right now because we can't write y equals mx plus b without the b. So I'm going to plug in all the parts that I know, and I'm going to see if I can figure out what b has to be. B has to be. All right, so instead of y, I'm going to write the y value. Instead of m, I'm going to write the slope. Instead of x, I'm going to write the x value plus b. Is that enough information to find b? Yeah, you just have to solve for b now. So 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. And then how will I get b? Add 5. So what's b going to be? 7 is going to be my b. Once you have your b and you have your m, now you're good to go. So what's the equation in slope-intercept form? Well, we got to go back to x's and y's. Y equals 5x. What's b?
Plus 7.
Plus 7. Good. Now, that is a common mistake that I see, is that you want to keep putting these in for xy. This is only one xy value that works. That's kind of just the clue that helps us find the b. Once we've found b, we want to go back to the generic equation where x and y are x and y. Okay? This is not the only ordered pair that works. So change it back to x, y's, and then you can write it in the other form as well. Okay, so here's one answer. This is slope-intercept form. Now I'm going to write it in standard form. How do I switch this to standard form? Subtract 5x from both sides. Good. And I want the x in the front in standard form. What's the issue? Multiply both sides by negative 1.
Is it okay if we do like dividing by negative
Mm-hmm.
1 as well?
So I'm just basically changing all the signs. Yes, the question was, could you go through and divide everything by negative 1? Absolutely. Both methods just change all your signs. Questions? All right, how should I start this? All right, so I heard slope-intercept, so I wrote slope-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. What am I doing with this information? Yes?
Solve for b.
Solve what? What equation do you want me to solve for b?
2 equals 2/3 times 6 plus b.
Okay, so you're making this the m, this the x, this the y. Then solve for b. Perfect. So 2 equals 2/3 times 6 plus b. Remember, the only thing we're using the 6 and the 2 for is to find the b value. It's kind of like a riddle, like a clue to find the b. All right. When I multiply, I can simplify first. So 2 equals 4 plus b. All right, so I know m. That's right here. I know b, that's right here. Those are like the winning tickets, okay? Now I can write it in y equals m, which is 2/3. X goes back to x, and then b, which is minus 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's one answer. How am I going to find the other answer? Standard form. Yeah, subtract the 2/3 x. So negative 2/3x plus y equals negative 2. All right, 2 problems. Let's try to knock them both out with one move. Yes?
It's the x is a fraction and it's negative.
Yeah, we are leading with a negative, not okay. We have a fraction, not okay. So what's the move to get rid of both of those problems? We could do negative 3, yeah. Because this is the only fraction we need to worry about. So as long as we get rid of the 3 in the denominator, we're good. All right, so when you multiply through by negative 3, that gives you 6/3, which is 2x. And then minus 3y. And then equals 6.
You said 2x or something. I thought you said 2x because the third said 2x.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it should be 6/3, which is 2. Yep, you got me. I said one thing and I wrote the other. Yeah, because negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6, and then 6 divided by 3 is 2. Thank you. Sorry about that. Hopefully you guys wrote what I said and not what I wrote. All right, any questions? All right, here's part D. All right, what should I do to start this one? Slope intercept, so y equals mx plus b. What am I doing? Where?
5 equals negative 1/2 times negative 2 plus b.
Good, so plug in x and y for x and y, plug in the slope for your m. That leaves you with everything you need besides the b. So we can use all those clues to find the b. What's negative 1/2 times negative 2?
Negative 1.
Careful.
Oh, positive 1.
Positive 1, good. And when I solve for b, four equals b. Good, so we got here and here, everything we need. So what is my equation in slope-intercept form?
Y equals 1/2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus b. Plus 4.
Plus 4, good. That's one answer. Then what?
Add 1/2 x.
Add 1/2 x. And we want that up front. So 1/2 x plus y equals 4. Am I done? Nope. What's the problem? Fraction. How am I going to get rid of the 1/2? Multiply everything by 2. Good. I like to put it on both sides. Okay, so can someone tell me what my answer is? Someone else. Yes, ma'am.
X plus y equals 8.
Careful, multiply the y by the 2 as well.
X plus 2y equals
2y equals 8. Very good. What are your questions?
Standard form.
Yeah, standard form. Good. And writing equations of lines. Good. All right. Here comes your homework. Unless you have questions, we good?
Oh, yes.